Welcome back to Cake and Bake. I am Cake.
Who am I?
Ace Ventura?
Helen Keller.
Wow. Welcome back to Challenge Friday. Did you figure
I
it out?
ruined it.
Did you figure it out? All right.
There we go.
Today we are doing 2 truths and a lie,
Challenge.
where you come up with 2 truths and a lie from your life, and the other person has to try to figure out which one of them is a lie. I've seen a few other YouTubers doing this, so I figured we'd give it a shot.
This is going to be good because we know a lot about each other.
That we do. Yep. So I think it's gonna be hard because we don't want to do a truth that totally gives away it's a truth, but at the same time we have to come up with a lie that obviously the other person knows is not something believable enough to fool the other person. But so I guess I'll start unless you're ready.
Sure. No matter.
I know we both are pretty ill prepared for this. We're just kind of winging it.
Yeah,
I do. All right. So when I was younger, my uncle has property in Milford. It goes right up to the river. So me and my dad would take us fishing. And one day it was just me and my dad, and we went out fishing, and I wasn't catching anything. And being as young as I was at the time, he was like, "We're just going to keep fishing." I was ready to go. So I was like, "I want to go home now. I'm done fishing." And he's like, "I want to keep fishing."
Go ahead.
So he's like, "We can go home if you eat 1 worm. Otherwise, we're going to keep here, stay here. I didn't buy these worms for nothing. We have to stay fishing. Unless I ate a worm." So I ate a worm. And we went home because I just eat random ass shit apparently.
All right.
All right. One time when I was younger, we had horses. We used to have horses. Mm-hmm. We had electrical fences. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to make something to touch the fence but not make me get shocked. Mm-hmm. So I took off my socks and I would drape them over the electrical fence. And I took wood and 2x4s and all this stuff, and I made this path out into the yard from the electrical fence, and at the end there was a sock connecting everything to this path that I made. Mm-hmm. And for some reason I thought it was a good idea to make it all wet, but I didn't have any water, so I peed on it.
Okay.
And I didn't know at the time that when I peed on this trail of things that I made, somewhere along the line, they were all passing electricity. So when I peed on the end of this path of things that I created, my pee got shocked.
My pee got shocked.
And then I shocked my penis. And I never did that again.
Okay. And your third?
Well, I grew up in the country, so sometimes I didn't really have a lot of things to do for fun. So I would just grab shovels and post hole diggers and try to dig. I thought I was gonna dig to China or something, but I always made a 2-foot deep hole and then gave up. And I would do it over and over and over again. I just never made it to China, because I would always fill in the hole and then start over and never make it anywhere. So that's what I did for fun when I was a little kid.
All right. Your second story about peeing on stuff that you made is totally believable. And I say that because you look up in a direction. When you look up in a direction, that means you're thinking about something from your past. Usually that's what they say. Your third story, you didn't look up at all, But I totally believe you digging a hole, filling it back in, and redoing it all over several times. But your first story, you seemed really scrambled when you were saying it, like really scrambled. So I want to say your first story's false.
Yep, that's false.
Yes.
My dad never made me eat a worm.
Woo!
But I figure, like, I would definitely do that. If somebody's like, eat a worm or we're not going home, I would totally eat a worm. Like, I figured it would be believable enough. But
Nice. I'm so glad I got that. Okay.
But my dad would take me fishing out there. So, yeah. What you got? What you got?
All right. So, when I was a kid,
Okay. Uh-huh.
you know, I was...
You were never a kid.
I wanted to be rebellious, but I was the good kid. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I had a friend crash over one night. And, you know, being the badass that I am, I wanted to write swear words. But I knew if I wrote swear words out or said swear words, I would get in trouble, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was I wrote swear words on a piece of paper. And then I had putty. And I took the putty and I laid it on there. So, no, I wrote the swear words backwards. I tried to write the swear words backwards. And then I put the putty on it, and when I pulled it off, the putty said the swear word on the putty. You know what I mean? So it was like, I didn't do it, but I did do it. And my mom ended up catching me in the bathroom, like doing that in front of the mirror or whatever. And then she made me say the swear words out loud and cracked me one every time I, you know, said the swear word. So there's one story.
Okay.
Okay. Another story is when I was a kid, my grandma and grandpa on my dad's side,
Mm-hmm.
they lived in a trailer in Lake Mills. And my grandma had a pottery shop. And she also taught pottery classes. And I think my mom took part in some of them, making some of them. I'm not quite sure. But, and then, you know, as a hobby, my grandpa also rolled cigarettes. Like, he did his own cigarette thing, like a lot of people do. And then he sold those, because I guess he did really well or something. So my grandma did the pottery thing, and my grandpa did the cigarette thing. That's one story.
Okay.
And so many stories to choose from. So many stories. Alright. So, my third story is that at the end of the road at my mom's house,
Mm-hmm.
there's a little park.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, one time I went down there, and if you go beyond the park, there's a creek. And if you pass the creek, there's a little bit of forest or whatever, and then there's a pond.
Mm-hmm.
And
Forest.
I went back there. You know, woods. I went back there because I used to catch frogs all the time. Well, one time while I was back there, I came across a nest of eggs. And I turned around and there's like a goose like staring at me. A swan or whatever.
Swan.
Yeah, staring at me. Immediately like threw its wings up, started hissing, and like started chasing me around the pond. I was scared crapless for a while. And I ran home. Here's my third story. Which one is false, yeah?
I want to say I don't remember the first one, but I remember this.
Putty.
Oh, the putty. I believe that one, but I don't believe. I don't know if I believe the whole thing. But it is cool when you put putty on like pencil and like it pulls the bag off. I could totally see your grandparents doing that, but there was like no like exciting thing that happened at the end of that story. You know, like the other one of them had like your mom cracking it because you were saying swear words.
I guess it's just exciting to me because it's about my grandparents and they're not around anymore.
Yeah, and then there was the one about you getting chased around a pond by a goose or a swan. Swan. I'm gonna go with the nest of eggs being the false one.
The nest of eggs.
Like the nest of eggs, and then it chased you around the pond.
You ready?
Yeah.
It's false. That totally happened.
Really?
My grandma did do pottery. That's true, but my grandpa never rolled cigarettes and sold them. That was totally false. I'm like, crap. So, good try, though.
I was like,
I can't remember what friend I had over that one night that I was writing swear words
I
backwards.
figured that one was true.
But I definitely got cracked for that.
And then, like, I just thought, like, you spent your time thinking about, like, the true ones, and then you had no, like not true one built up. That's why you were, like, buying time, like.
No, I was trying to think, because, you know what? I knew we were going to do this, and I had stories in my head, and then I'd, like, forget it.
Yeah.
So.
It was like you either spent time thinking of the lie, so you didn't have time to think of another true, or you spent time thinking about two truths and you didn't have a lie yet. So I knew, like, one of the second two had to be false. And I just guessed the wrong one.
1-0.
Yep. I didn't win yet.
Nope.
All right. So I just totally had a story. I don't.
I hope you had 3.
I didn't. I had 1 and I was banking on that. All right. So when I was
False. No, go ahead.
okay.
I'm waiting in anticipation.
When I was little, we had pigs. I showed pigs at the fair. And we had canes. You know, you use canes to show pigs.
No, I didn't know that, but okay.
Yeah, you, like, direct them with the pigs around the pen. And
Okay.
so one day I was out playing with a cane on my bike. And I had it over my handlebar. And when I was riding the bike, I was chasing my sister or something on her bike. And the cane went into the spokes of my bike and flipped me over the handlebars. And then I got a scar from that on my leg.
Okay, check your leg. Okay, there's one story.
Then there was this one time
At band camp.
when I lived out in Milford with a buddy.
A lot of stuff happens in Milford.
Yeah, it does. It really does. This little town that has a bar, and that's about it. So when I was living there with Kyle,
Mm-hmm.
you know, in the basement,
Mm-hmm.
that we had one bathroom on one side of the apartment, basement, whatever. And then when I came out of the bathroom, I had to walk all the way across the living room to my room.
Mm-hmm.
So I would come over to my bedroom after a shower, you know, and I only had a towel on. But I didn't know that, like, friends had come over while I was in the shower, and I didn't have any other clothes to put on except for a towel. So I rolled up my towel until basically almost everything was hanging out. And I walked across the living room like that in, like, this little towel. And people got a little bit of a show of my caboose when I bent over.
Nice.
And then there was this one time at band camp. No, so there was this one time, and me and a friend would have these fights with sticks. And we would go camping and we had these sticks and we would put them in the fire. And then, like, we would swing them around like swords, and then we would hit each other on accident. And I got hit in the head with this stick, and I was wearing a beanie at the time, and my beanie kind of caught fire. So I had to, like, throw it off and put the fire out, and it had a mark on it because, like, the fabric got burnt, so it was all, like, burnt up.
So the sticks that you were sword fighting with, you had in the fire first? Is that what you're trying to
Yeah, like, we would swing them around like swords,
Yeah.
and then we had this bright idea that if we put them in the fire, then they would be like coals and fire on the end and stuff. And then my friend accidentally hit me in the head with it.
Oh, I was totally going to say that your third story was false. I was going to say that because you seemed scrambling again. But when I asked you about your stick and the fire, you seemed like very descriptive, like you knew what you were talking about. So I'm gonna say the third story is true.
Okay.
Am I right so far?
Yep.
Yes. What was the second story about? First one was about
the towel.
The towel. The towel one I totally believe would happen. It's very, very believable. But so is the spoke with your sister. God, that's tough. See, and then you could have totally pulled one over on me and said something that's totally believable about the towel and it not be true. And I would totally buy it. I'm going to say riding bike with your sister and the spoke's not true.
That is true. That definitely happened, and I had just put metal pedals on my bike, and I caught my shin on the metal pedal as I was flipping over, and that happened.
You know what happened? I put too much thought into it. That's what I did.
And then the towel thing is also true, so they were all true. I just couldn't think of a lie.
What?
I couldn't think of what. The last one was going to be a lie, and then I was like, I don't have anything.
You totally didn't follow the rules.
But,
you suck at this.
I mean, if any of them wasn't true, it would be the second one because there wasn't friends. It was just one friend.
Oh.
And I didn't bend over. I just, had my ass cheeks hanging out. Alright, you go. I'll try to redeem myself with another one. I don't know. No, we should probably just...
Probably just cut that whole thing out.
Wow. It kind of hurt my feelings that you didn't think I had a scar on my leg, and I have one.
I just couldn't see you riding your bike with your sister. Because your guys' ages.
Jillian?
Yeah.
We're 3 years apart.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Alright. You ready for
Alright,
this?
yeah.
Okay. My first story is I was out fishing with my dad and his boat.
Mm.
And I can't remember exactly where we were or what we were doing.
Okay.
But we were fishing on a lake.
Okay.
And my little sister Gina was with us. And we were fishing, and she caught on to something, really big.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad is all like, oh, I just want to see it, I want to see it. And he's, looking over the water, and she's reeling it in. And when it got close enough to be able to see it, it, didn't look like anything that we ever saw before. It just didn't look familiar. Usually we can tell. And right as it got to the point where you should be able to see it, you saw a color, it was a flash of gray or something, the line snapped. The line snapped and the fish was gone.
Still Loch Ness Monster.
Some people could say. So that's that story.
Okay.
Story number 2. I had 5 seconds ago in my head. When I was a kid, I had a problem sleepwalking.
Mm-hmm.
And one night I got up and I was past midnight and I started wandering the town in socks and pajamas. And I knocked on my next door neighbor's door and I asked if one of them could come out and play.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, no, they're sleeping, and then I continued walking the neighborhood. And then I went home, and the next day, my mom and dad found out about it, and they put a padlock, not a padlock, but a lock thing on the door so that I couldn't get out in the middle of the night and wander the streets.
Yep.
Okay?
Okay.
My second story. And my third story is when I was younger-ish, Gina and I, my little sister, would play together, and one of the things that we would play would be called Eddie's Restaurant. And I'd pretend that I was a waiter/cook, and I'd ask her what she wanted to eat, and she would tell me, and I would go make it and bring it out to her, like I was running a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So my 3 stories.
That's it?
3 stories.
That was the all of the third story.
Yeah.
Well, I know the second one's true.
Crap. I knew as soon as I said it. I bet I told him this already.
I knew about that.
Dang it.
I definitely knew that story. There was a story that I was hoping you would tell, but you didn't.
What one?
About the box under the sink.
No,
But you didn't
I
tell.
knew I told you that one. I'm pretty sure I told the whole town.
When you were sleepwalking. I feel like both of the other stories are believable.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like after I just told 3 truths, you might have told 3 truths as well. But at the same time, there's rules, and you don't break rules.
I follow rules, unlike some people.
Yeah. You don't like to take risks. So...
That's not true. Never mind.
I think that the first one is a lie.
How come?
Because I believe that if you were fishing with your dad, there's no way he would let a line snap. He's too good of a fisherman to let a line snap.
So what you're saying is you're totally pulling something out of your ass right now.
I don't think a line snapped while you were fishing with your dad. That's all I'm going to say. And I totally believe that that could have happened because lines snap all the time when you fish.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't think that one time did happen.
You ready for your answer?
Yes.
The first story is false.
Yes.
Yep.
The third story false too?
No, the third story's true. Yeah.
I believe that would have happened. Did you know that apparently there's a monster in the Rock Lake?
Yes, I knew that.
Rocky
a long
or something?
Time ago.
Isn't it called Rocky?
I think so, but it's supposed to be a Loch Ness monster kind of thing.
Yeah, nobody's ever seen it and blah blah blah.
Well, people
like,
have seen it.
History Channel came and like looked for it. But yeah, I'm really bad at this game.
Rocky's too smart. So it is.
I couldn't tell 2 lies. It's just like when
When you lied, you're like, and then, I'm like, you're obviously lying to me right now.
I'm not good at telling lies. Because I have to think of something that's believable. But, like, almost everything I feel like is believable. Like, I've done stupid shit. Like, this one time my bike was broken, and I held onto my friend's car window.
Well, what I did is I thought of a story and I changed part of it. Like, I did go fishing with my dad and Gina once, and we were out on the boat, and Gina hooked something, and she was bringing it in. It was like a bluegill. It was a little small fish. And as she, like, brought it up to the boat, this huge northern, I mean, like, this fish was bigger than she was. It was huge. And, like, came up in the water. It didn't come out of the water, but it came all the way up and then, like, went straight back down to the depths. But, I mean, this fish was just, like, a monster.
What?
You know? And I just changed it. I just said that
Well, I mean,
she had a big fish on the line and it snapped. You know?
I mean, like, the towel thing, like, I didn't bend over in front of a bunch of people. I just, like, hiked my towel up and walked through the living room with, like, a person sitting there.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how big you want your line.
But I feel like that's not really a lie. It's just, like...
No, I mean, if the thing happened, it's just...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, I feel like you know about a lot of stuff that I've done. Like, you've heard about it or you've been there, so... And there's not really anything exciting that happened in Texas to talk about. So it's like, you know, this one time. So yeah, I suck at this game. I guess if anything it was 2-2, but I'm not good at coming up with lies for stories.
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
The comment shout of the day goes to Sean Bratz for the Hit the Brakes episode, the Verbal Wars. When we asked, would you rather live in a house with somebody that you hate or live in the house alone? And he said alone. Definitely alone. So he sided with me on that one. There's definitely been times that he sided with you, so...
Thanks for the comment.
It's nice to hear what people have to answer for our questions sometimes.
Yeah,
you know, so.
that is nice.
Thanks, Sean, and be sure to comment below, and maybe you'll get the shout.
Again.
Shaman. Wow.
Shaman.
The shaman.
Shaman
comment
ramen
on
noodles.
Quicker picker upper. Bounty. Thanks for commenting. Be sure to comment below. You might get the shout out comment next time.
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Follow us on Twitter. Like us on Facebook. The links are in the description below.